Ancient Egypt's grandeur, with its towering monuments and golden treasures, hides a web of dark secrets that have fascinated historians and archaeologists for centuries. Behind the shimmering sands and the imposing pyramids, the royal families of Egypt lived lives that were as mysterious as they were opulent. The rulers, worshipped as living gods, resided behind palace walls that concealed not only unimaginable luxury, but also customs and rituals that would shock the modern world. Their daily lives were filled with splendor but also with fear, suspicion, and the ever-present threat of betrayal. One of the most unsettling practices was royal incest. In the quest to keep the bloodline pure and maintain the divine right to rule, pharaohs often married their own sisters or even daughters. This was not seen as taboo, but as a sacred duty, an act that reinforced their claim to the throne and their connection to the gods. This tradition reached a chilling climax with the union of Thutmose II and Hatshepsut. Their marriage was not just a political alliance, but a deeply disturbing arrangement that blurred the lines between family and power. Hatshepsut, one of the most remarkable women in ancient history, would later seize the throne herself, defying expectations and rewriting the rules of royal succession. Their relationship became the stage for gruesome events. The palace, with its echoing halls and hidden chambers, witnessed power struggles that led to betrayal, exile, and even murder. Ambition ran deep, and the thirst for power often turned family members into deadly rivals. The royal family was a complex web of alliances and rivalries where trust was rare and ambition often trumped morality. Nobles and courtiers plotted in the shadows, each seeking favor or plotting revenge. The fate of the kingdom could change with a whispered rumor or a single act of treachery. Thutmose and Hatshepsut's union was marked by both tradition and bloodshed. Ceremonies that appeared grand and sacred often masked darker intentions, and the throne itself became a symbol of both glory and danger. As we peel back the layers of history, the truth behind the golden mask of Egyptian royalty emerges. Beneath the dazzling surface lies a chilling testament to the lengths humans will go for power, legacy, and survival. The stories of these rulers remind us that even the most magnificent civilizations are built on secrets, sacrifices, and sometimes unspeakable acts. Join us as we unravel these secrets and discover what truly lay beneath Egypt's splendor, where the shadows of the past still linger, and the dark heart of royalty is finally revealed. Thutmose II and Hatshepsut's marriage was meant to project divine unity, a union that would not only secure their claim to the throne, but also reinforce the idea that the pharaohs were chosen by the gods themselves. In the eyes of the people, their relationship was a symbol of stability and cosmic order, a living embodiment of Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian principle of truth, balance, and harmony. Yet behind the gilded doors of the palace, this carefully crafted image masked a disturbing reality. The royal family's public face was a mask concealing secrets and betrayals that would never be spoken aloud. Royal incest was not just tolerated, it was encouraged, even expected, as a way to preserve the purity of the bloodline. Pharaohs often married their sisters or half-sisters, believing that only those of divine descent could rule Egypt. This practice, passed down through generations, was seen as a sacred duty, but it also sowed the seeds of tragedy. The cost of this tradition was immense. Behind the grandeur and ceremony, the royal family paid a terrible price, one that was often hidden from the public eye, but whispered about in the shadows of the palace. Their child, born into this web of power and expectation, became a victim of the very system meant to protect the throne. Some say the child was drowned, perhaps as a ritual sacrifice to appease the gods, or more likely to eliminate a potential rival in the ruthless struggle for succession. The truth remains shrouded in mystery, lost to the sands of time. Legend tells of a punishment so cruel it defies belief. Hatshepsut, the grieving mother, was forced to drink the very water in which her child had died. This act was not just a demonstration of power, it was a calculated humiliation, a way to break her spirit and remind her of her place within the merciless hierarchy of the royal court. The palace's opulence, with its towering columns and golden chambers, became the silent backdrop for this horror. Its walls, adorned with scenes of triumph and divinity, bore silent witness to a mother's despair and the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of royal life. This murder was not an isolated act, but a consequence of twisted royal norms that placed power above all else. The cycle of betrayal and violence was woven into the very fabric of the dynasty, repeated generation after generation as each ruler fought to secure their place on the throne. In the end, it was a chilling reminder that, in Egypt's royal game, human life was expendable. The broken statues and empty tombs that remain today are silent witnesses to the suffering endured by those who lived and died within the palace walls. The tragedy transformed Hatshepsut, fueling her resolve for revenge and change. As pharaoh, she refused to be a mere consort. Her ambition was to rewrite the rules of power. She launched grand building projects, each monument a statement of defiance and authority. Her name was carved into history, outshining those before her. Yet the shadow of betrayal and loss lingered, wounds no monument could heal. Hatshepsut's reign was a delicate balance, maintaining power while navigating the corruption that haunted her family. In this labyrinth of intrigue, her legacy was forged, challenging the very foundations of Egyptian customs. Her story became one of survival and transformation. Egyptian laws were both a guide and a weapon for the royal family. The pharaoh, seen as a living god, could twist rules to suit their ambitions. Incest, abhorrent today, was a tool for political stability and divine continuity. The ruler's actions, however cruel, were justified as the will of the gods. This set a dangerous precedent, power unchecked by morality. The throne symbolized cosmic order, but in pursuit of Ma'at, pharaohs often unleashed chaos. The tragic fate of Hatshepsut's child was a product of a system that valued legacy over life. Against this backdrop, Hatshepsut would rise to challenge the very laws that had scarred her. Royal customs came with a steep human cost, especially for those trapped within palace walls. Hatshepsut's loss was not just personal, it was inflicted by the very traditions she was born into. The palace became a gilded cage, her grief echoing through its halls. Servants and guards, too, witnessed the cruelty of royal life, their own suffering hidden behind the palace's splendor. Every ceremony was a reminder of the price paid for divine rule. The rigid hierarchy left little room for empathy or dissent. Hatshepsut's rise was a beacon of change, but the scars of her past endured. The cost of tradition was measured in human suffering. Hatshepsut's reign was defined by her quest for retribution and transformation. Her revenge was subtle, woven into her rule and the monuments she built. Each obelisk and temple was a symbol of defiance against those who wronged her. She began erasing Thutmose II's legacy, removing his name from records. This act was more than vengeance, it was a symbolic cleansing, asserting her narrative over his. Her reign brought prosperity and peace, a stark contrast to the turmoil before her. Hatshepsut's legacy was not just architectural marvels, but a ruler who dared to defy the norms. Her story became one of resilience and redemption. Hatshepsut's erasure of Thutmose II's legacy was a bold assertion of control. By removing his name from monuments, she reclaimed her story from the shadows. This was not just about erasing a rival, but about rewriting the narrative of succession. Her actions challenged the customs that had allowed cruelty to flourish. Severing Thutmose's connection to the divine lineage, she positioned herself as a symbol of change. Her reign became a testament to willpower over tradition. The chisel in her hands proved mightier than the sword. Hatshepsut's legacy endures as one of defiance and reinvention. Life in the Egyptian palace was a balance of grandeur and private turmoil. Hatshepsut's story reveals the emotional toll of royal duty, personal desires sacrificed for tradition. The loss of her child and betrayal by kin cast a long shadow over her reign. She navigated a web of intrigue, every decision scrutinized, every emotion masked. The palace was a crucible of human emotion, its inhabitants bound by the same harsh traditions. Alliances were fragile, survival uncertain, and the pressure to maintain appearances immense. Hatshepsut's reign, though successful, was a reminder of the sacrifices made for legacy. The human cost of royal tradition was profound and enduring. The saga of Thutmose II and Hatshepsut offers lessons that echo today, resonating far beyond the sands of ancient Egypt. Their intertwined destinies, marked by ambition, rivalry, and resilience, reveal the timeless nature of human struggles for power and recognition. As we look back, We see not just rulers but individuals shaped by their circumstances, forced to make choices that would ripple through history. Their story warns us of the dangers of unchecked power and the heavy cost of rigid traditions. In a world where authority was absolute and dissent was dangerous, the consequences of ambition could be both inspiring and tragic. The ancient Egyptians believed their rulers were divine, yet even gods on earth faced the limits of tradition and the unpredictable tides of fate. The royal family's practices highlight the struggle between power and morality, between personal desire and the expectations of society. Thutmose and Hatshepsut's choices were shaped by the weight of their lineage, the demands of their people, and the ever-present threat of betrayal. Their actions remind us that leadership is never simple, and that every decision carries consequences for generations to come. Hatshepsut's rise is a testament to resilience and the importance of rewriting oppressive narratives. Against all odds, she claimed her place as Pharaoh, challenging centuries of tradition that denied women the throne. Her reign was marked by innovation, prosperity, and a bold reimagining of what leadership could look like. Her legacy is one of defiance. She dared to question norms and carve her own path. Hatshepsut's courage in the face of opposition inspires us to challenge the boundaries set before us, to believe in our own vision, and to persist even when the world resists change. Her actions remind us of the impact one individual can have in reshaping history. Through determination and vision, Hatshepsut transformed not only her own destiny, but also the future of her nation. Her story is a powerful reminder that history is not just shaped by the powerful, but by those who dare to dream differently. As we reflect on these ancient stories, we're reminded of the need for empathy and justice in leadership. The past teaches us that true greatness lies not in domination, but in understanding, compassion, and the courage to do what is right, even when it is difficult. The tale of Hatshepsut urges us to consider the human cost behind power and to strive for a more compassionate world. As we move forward, may we carry these lessons with us, seeking not only to lead, but to uplift, to listen, and to create a legacy worthy of remembrance.